Rights delayed are rights denied.
Over the past decade, the Manitoba Advocate for Children and Youth has made 67 recommendations to Manitoba's government to better the lives of young Manitobans, yet their latest report says only 12 of those have been fully implemented.
There's children that are suffering from mental health crisis and there's no response.
Manitoba Advocate Sherry Gott says the province has developed 5 pillars to deal with mental health in Manitoba, but have no specific strategy for youth. She says 88% of recommendations that MACY has made since 2018 have been acted upon, but not fully implemented. A 2020 recommendation that lowers cases of sleep-related deaths in infants, Gott says, should be dealt with immediately.
One of the things that needs to be identified in that is the risk factors. Co-sleeping, of course. I mean, there's that issue. There's also lack of access to resources, crib, the appropriate sleeping apparatuses, and especially in the north, it costs a lot of money. But I think, if there needs to be some kind of subsidy for families to access those kind of supports.
Gott's office says since 2020, there have been at least 50 infants who have died unexpectedly in their sleep. MACY is also calling on the government to limit child welfare caseworkers to a maximum of 20 cases at a time. This following the death of Phoenix Sinclair, a 5-year-old girl who died after what an inquiry found was years of abuse and neglect.
When you only have 20 cases, you're able to manage those cases, have assessments in place, providing resources for the families that if they require any services under the Child Welfare Act. I think that's really important.
Minister of Families Rochelle Squires says they're working on fully implementing these recommendations, but they take time due to legislative changes that support Indigenous governing bodies assuming jurisdiction.
Many of them are in the process of writing their own laws, and so we're walking back some systems and policies and legislation that has been entrenched for more than 50 years.
Gott says one of the 12 recommendations was implemented just this week when the province announced wraparound supports for students with high absenteeism rates based on a recommendation from the Tina Fontaine report. In Winnipeg, Mike Albanese, City News.